Hi everyone, my name is Amelia Gode. How are y'all today? I'm going to be talking about why we should exercise daily. Every day, people look for many energy boosts, whether it be an energy drink, a nap, or our phone, that we also look for stress relievers and ways to make us feel better. But what if our body was not meant to use energy drinks or naps or be on our phone all day? What if it was meant to do something else all along? And that is called exercise. I'm going to explain today why we should exercise daily and how it will make us feel better. Exercise helps our body stay strong and prevent health problems. Our body can also help our mental health and our brain, as well as gaining energy and being more productive on the daily. So, whenever we exercise, our body gets stronger and builds muscle and helps us stay in shape, which can reduce the risk of diseases like heart disease or diabetes, which is a very stressful disease to have because your whole life revolves around diabetes and what you eat on the daily, etc. So when we exercise and stay fit, we no longer need to worry about having diabetes and having those struggles in our everyday life. Another example is in a recent quote related to worse HRV indexes independently of disease severity in patients not submitted to exercise training by Camilo. This quote is essentially saying that the risk of heart disease is greater in patients that do not exercise on the daily. Now that we talked a little bit about physical health, let's move on to our mental health. So, exercising daily can help our body produce its feel-good endorphins, which can increase our mental health in the way that our brains feel. We can become less anxious and depressed, and from personal experience, I can say that that is true. I was very anxious in the beginning of the semester this year, and that increased my stress on my schoolwork and everything I did. Whenever I started to exercise towards the middle of the semester, I saw a very huge increase in my grades, and I became less anxious whenever I started exercising. And that is truly why I am talking about exercise today, because I saw a real impact from exercise in my mental health and what I've been doing with my day-to-day life. In a recent quote, it says, exercise as a standalone intervention has demonstrated efficiency for preventing anxiety onset and improving anxiety symptoms. So, this is saying that exercising has has showed a large increase for preventing anxiety and improving anxiety symptoms, which that has also been proven in my life. Now that we talked a little bit about mental health today, let's finally move on to how our energy can increase and our productivity can increase from exercise, especially in our academic goals and achievements. So, like I said, I began to exercise because I was very anxious and stressed, which put a toll on the way I was performing in school. So, whenever I began to exercise, I started noticing a big increase in what I was doing throughout my day. I was doing more things. I wasn't just laying in my bed and doing nothing. I wasn't just sitting on my sofa and doing nothing. I was putting more things in my day, and exercise was one of the main additives in my routine for the day, and that showed a big increase in my academic achievements. my grade shot up at least a letter grade in every class, which is huge. I had I'm usually an A, B student, and I was a B, C student, and all my grades moved up at least one letter grade. So now that we talked a little bit about my personal experience, let me tell y'all about a quote that I found very impactful. It says moderately intense aerobic exercise positively impacted pre-adolescent children's cognitive control, potentially enhancing academic performance by Kian. This is saying that exercise in moderately intense exercise specifically has positively impacted teenagers and young adults and young children, their minds and their um how they can control what they do in their day-to-day life and how they perform, and it has significantly increased their performance academically. So now that we have talked about daily exercise and how it increases our body to stay strong and prevent health problems, it can help our brain, and how it increases our energy and to become more productive, I wanted to conclude by saying you should exercise daily and it will make you feel 100% better. You don't have to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. You can do a little ab exercise or just a short walk every day, because just a small amount of exercise can truly change your life for the better, like it did for me. Bye, everyone. I hope you have a great day.